the calm before the storm. You can feel it getting closer. The signs are tattered and torn. Darkness fills the sky, so keep your head from going under and try to find shallow water. Can't you see that something has to change before it's too late? Or you'll suffer the wrath of the storm that you create. It's not up to fate, the choice is yours to make. It's not up to fate, the choice is yours to make. It's not up to fate, the choice is yours to make. When push come to shove, you'll keep bringing me down. The road less traveled is the pool where you drown. You're out of touch, looking at a narrow view. I don't think you could change, even if you wanted to. Well, every day it's all the same, and all your jokes are fucking lame. Why can't you see it's killing me inside? How much more am I to take? I think it's time to finally wake up, and I'll put you in your place. Can't you see you're going out of your mind? And you're wasting all this precious time. And I know that you'll put up a fight, but this intervention is your last red light. I never set you straight, everything I gained, and I couldn't wait to watch you fall flat on your face. I'm just a sheep in the
Welcome in, everybody, to the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, live here in Lime Rock, Lakeville, Connecticut, at the Lime Rock Motorsports Park for the Homerun Cafe for the Madness Racing League Truck Series. Ladies and gentlemen, race number 3 of 12 getting ready to come around the corner. The one and only road course race that the Madness Racing League holds annually once a season. In every one of the series that I've ever been a part of, getting ready to take on this beautiful road course, ladies and gentlemen. A 8-turn road course, 1.53 miles, so kind of a shorter road course. Going to be very, very fast here. Tons of elevation changes here in Lakeville, Connecticut. It's a beautiful day to go racing out here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Guys are loaded into their trucks. They're qualifying out there on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. And welcome into the Madness Racing League Total Nonstop Action Homerun Cafe Truck Series. And we are getting ready to go racing here tonight at the beautiful Lime Rock Park at the road course here in Connecticut. Not much of a road course fan myself, but things are definitely getting ready to go crazy here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to go ahead and start off tonight's live stream, with a little bit of tragic, sad news. Earlier last week, the driver of the number 16 NASCAR legend, Greg Biffle, lost his life in a tragic plane crash. And we'll take tonight to honor 16 seconds, a moment of silence of the legend, Greg Biffle. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your moment of silence here as we remember the life of Greg Biffle. He would have been 54 years old today. Well, yesterday. Back on the main broadcast here for the Booty Scoot Racing Channel's Lime Rock Classic for the TNA Truck Series for the Homerun Cafe It's going to be one hell of a show here. And if you've never joined in and watched one of our races here before, especially road course style, things get a little tricky out here, especially with as many cars we have piled in here. This is definitely going to be one of the biggest road course races we have ever had here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Looks like we have 24 cars rounding out the field here tonight, looking for a chance to go to victory lane tonight at the Lime Rock Park. Ladies and gentlemen, getting ready to go racing here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Make sure you are locked and loaded and pressing that like button, pressing that follow button, headed on over to the YouTube page to make sure you can get each and every single live stream located right there. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like we're waiting on just a tad bit more people to come lock and load into their trucks. We'll go ahead and kick it off here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, on the pole, driver the number 24 Chevy Silverado. It'll be his first pole of the season. That's going to be James Fountain. Sharing the front row with him, driving the number 9 Napa Auto Parts Machine Chevy from Coleman, Alabama. That's the 4-time Madness Racing League winner, Ty Robertson. Checking out the second row, on the inside. Third place, driving the number 5 STI Johnson Chevy. That's Chase Johnson. And on the outside of him, driving the Greg Biffle number 01 Toyota Tundra TRD throwback from Burnside, Kentucky. The winner 2 weeks ago at Texas Motor Speedway, Michael Dern Jr. Starting in the 5th place spot here tonight, driving the number 99 3M Chevy Silverado from Park Ridge, New Jersey. That's the TNA Truck Series champion from Season 2 of Jerry Powers. Starting on the outside of him, driving the number 27 Nurse Aviator Toyota from Landrum, South Carolina, Adam Peeler. And driving the number 09 Granger Greg Biffle throwback here tonight, the 409 of Holden Wheeler. And on the inside of him, driving the number 8 HendrickCars.com Chevy Silverado. That's going to be Corey Tessner. And starting behind him from Walnut Cove, North Carolina, driving the number 75 Klotz Ford F-150, Andy Whitker. And on the inside of him from Arnorsville, Georgia, that's the old-timer 64-year-old 3-time Madness Racing League winner, the Toyota 777 of Bobby Kyle. On the inside of him will be the number 02 Mobile 1 Ford F-150 from Welford, South Carolina, of Nicholas Maynard. And on the outside of him from Bristol, Tennessee, driving the number 01 Stacking Pennies Podcast Chevy Silverado, that's Everett Larson. And on the inside of him, driving the NR3 Designs number 66 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro from Union Beach, New Jersey, Neil Rutt. And driving the number 7 Ford F-150 from Pelzer, South Carolina, ready to shake, rattle, and roll. That's the Champion 7 of Travo Wall. On the inside of him, driving the number 11 Ford F-150, got Love's Truck Stop on board from South Haven, Kansas. The 18-year-old rookie driver in the Madness Racing League of Camden, Gillian. Driving the number 48 Queso's Windy, number 48 Chevy Silverado, from Kentucky. That's the 48 machine, the large car, Nick Crawford. And driving the number 15, the number 15 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro here at the back half of the field. That's going to be Dakota Pignataro. Driving the number 23 Ford F-150 from Greer, South Carolina, your mom's favorite driver, John Michael Bryant. It looks like, ladies and gentlemen, that's everybody out on the racetrack currently at the moment. See if we can't pull up the rest of the remaining field at the back half. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Filling in behind John Michael Bryant will be Dakota Pignataro, Tim Powers, Blake Koschchild, Tony Cook, Sean Williams, Virgil Perriman, and Dagan Barnes. Starting from the pits here, ladies and gentlemen, getting ready to go racing here at the Lime Rock Park. Things are getting ready to get down and dirty. It's getting ready to get wicked. We're getting ready to throw up tonight's keys of the race, get you locked and loaded so you are following along with everybody here tonight so you don't feel lost. It's going to be 30 laps here tonight with two sets of tires, as they head down here at the bottom, get ready to go back up the hill. We're going to have to keep it on the track, manage these passes smartly, be there at the end. Competition caution will fly on lap number 12, ladies and gentlemen, meaning that these guys will have a reset. They know for sure on lap 12. They're just going to have to manage it till then. Ladies and gentlemen, not sure when we're with the green flag. Doesn't look like we'll get it this go time, but if we do, we're ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, James Fountain's going to be on the pole here tonight with Ty Robertson on the outside of him. Two known road course racers here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Peter the Base Car looks like he is going to take the right onto pit lane. And we are getting ready to go racing here at Lime Rock Park in Connecticut. We're road course racing here in the Madness Racing League for the Total Nonstop Action Truck Series. Down into turns 1, everybody hard down on the brake. Everybody's going to have to keep it together. It looks like everybody's able to do just that. Heading back down into the infield portion, heading down to turn 2, down into turn 3, down into second, third gear for most of these drivers here on the infield portion part of tonight's infield road course. Ladies and gentlemen, James Fountain has the race lead off the exit of turn 4. James Fountain down on the hard braking zone, getting ready to head back up the hill. He battles a little bit of internet connection issues. Everybody's going to have to get down in this braking zone. Can they make it through it? Maynard switched out high there on the top of the hill. They'll have to sort it out as they head back to turn 6, down into turn 7, getting ready to flow right back down the hill to turn 8, the final turn here tonight. James Fountain coming across the line this time around on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. He'll lead the opening laps here tonight for the Lime Rock Classic here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. James Fountain, Chase Johnson gets around Michael Durham Jr. there. Jerry Powers fills in with Holden Wheeler, Ty Robertson. This is a good battle right here between Holden Wheeler, Ty Robertson. Ty Robertson's going to plug the hole underneath the 09 of Holden Wheeler, but Holden Wheeler's not going to be denied. He'll shove it back down here in the turns 3 and roll around the carousel, back out of turns 4, headed back towards turn 5 to go down the hill. Ladies and gentlemen, tons of speed all around this racetrack. This battle here between the Greg Biffle throwback and the Napalm number 9 of Ty Robertson. Beating and banging here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel is what it's going to take, but Ty Robertson will overcharge the corner there. He'll pull right around the 09 of Holden Wheeler. We're up and rolling here in the Lime Rock Park. Chase Johnson has a mirror full of Michael Durham Jr., Bobby Kyle. Andy Wicker battle it out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, looking to make something shake here tonight. Trying to make something roll here at the Lime Rocks Classic. You're going to have to make something shake. Bobby Kyle, Andy Wicker battle it out here. Andy Wicker started in the 9th place spot here tonight. He continues to roll and bowl his way up through the field here. Ladies and gentlemen, lap number 3 here complete of the Lime Rock Classic. Whoa, Neil Rutt the third locks up the left front tire there around Nicholas Maynard in this number 02, and he's up and off of the racetrack. Whoa, Nicholas Maynard's got to get on the brake. These two guys got to figure it out here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the battle for the 13th, 14th place spot. John Michael Bryant, Nick Crawford, as well as Dakota Pignataro battle it out here for the 16th, 17th, and 18th place spot. We're still underneath the green flag. Here's James Fountain, rolls up the hill. Chase Johnson hard on the inside, safe for barrier. He'll give up that 2nd place spot to Michael Durham Jr. there, but Chase Johnson has got a little bit of left front damage now that he's done ran into the outside carousel. Safe for barrier, That'll bring Jerry Powers just a little bit closer down the hill. He's got Ty Robertson and a mirror full of them right behind him. Ladies and gentlemen, now does everybody navigate their way down the hill. Neil Rutt the third, as well as Nicholas Maynard in this Bumble 102 machine. That's the battle for the 12th place spot between Neil Rutt the third, Nicholas Maynard, and Everett Larson. 4 laps complete here in the Lime Rock Classic. We got about 9 laps to go until the competition caution here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. 8 laps to go this time around on the Booty Scoot Racing channel until the competition caution flies on lap number 10. We gladly appreciate you tuning in here tonight to the Lime Rock Classic. Jerry Powers ripping and rolling down here on the bottom side of the racetrack from Park Ridge, New Jersey, trying to hold on to this 4th place spot around Ty Robertson, kicking up mud and dust down the hill. They're ready to head back up this brutal hill right here. You're going to see a lot of guys get loose there. We got one turn backwards on the racetrack. That's Andy Wicker. Andy Wicker gets it up the racetrack to look like he's able to get it towed and back down into the garage area, back down the hill. Jerry Powers fighting for his life around the number 9 of Ty Robertson. Ty Robertson just not able to get the gas down, go run down. Jerry Powers in this number 99 machine. They've entered Holden Wheeler right into the battle here. How will they manage to get it down here in the hard braking zone down in the turns 1 and 2? Everybody's able to hold on to the race cars quite well. Here comes Corey Tester. He's a little bit good of a road course racer. This number 8 HendrickCars.com Chevy Silverado for Chase Johnson Racing. He's known to make some things shake here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We're road course racing here tonight. Nicholas Maynard, Neil Rutt the third look like they've settled out their battle here with Everett Larson in the 01 Ford Chevy Camaro. Well, Silverado is not a Camaro. We want to cut to Camaro. You have to check us out tomorrow night for the Xfinity Series live at the Pocono Raceway for the Madness Racing League. Right now, Neil Rutt the third trying to run down Everett Larson, Nicholas Maynard trailing in the distance here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. You're watching the battle for the 10th place spot in the Lime Rock Classic. Back down the hill, though, we'll go to the 09 and number 9 and 99. We got 9s all over the racetrack. Shout out the Juice World back up here with Billy the Button Driver. This is going to be the most active that he is all year long. Holden Wheeler will look to the inside of the number 9 of Ty Robertson down here in the hard braking zone of turns 1 and 2. Not able to get the position that he was looking for. Look for the undercut underneath the number 9, but just not able to get the nose down there with that F-150 of that number 09. Greg Biffle throwback. R.I.P. Greg Biffle. Tragic news earlier last week. Greg Biffle looks like he has lost his life tragically in a plane accident with his family. And our thoughts and prayers continue with here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel with them, Jerry Powers, and one another. The Greg Biffle throwbacks here tonight at the Lime Rock Park. Ladies and gentlemen, we're at 25 laps to go. It looks like we got about 6 laps remaining into the competition caution flag here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. James Fountain currently the race leader up the exit of turn number 8. Headed back down the long front straightaway down into the braking zone. You're riding on board with the race leader. James Fountain, one of the really consistent Madness Racing League road course contenders. James Fountain has 2 Madness Racing League road course wins underneath his belt. He's looking for that first win here in season 3, and he's got it right now. You see the rest of the traffic heading back through the carousel, trying to run down the number 24 of James Fountain as he works his way off of turn 3. Sideways is James Fountain. That'll bring Michael Durham Jr. right to that back bumper. Look at his braking zone here. We're going to have a battle. Everybody's going to stack up here. Jerry Powers is going to have a battle with Ty Robertson as it looks like Travo Wall's battling a little bit of transmission issues as he slowed down the hill here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Chase Johnson has gotten separated from Michael Durham Jr., who is trying to chase down James Fountain for the race lead. James Fountain, however, getting ready to complete another lap around the Lime Rock Classic here on the Madness Racing League's Home Run Total Nonstop Action Truck Series. Heading across the line is the Apex Grading Chevy Silverado of James Fountain. James Fountain and a lot of these guys are going to have to start playing and wondering what are they going to do with the pit call here. Knowing that you're going to have a competition caution on lap number 12, it's going to bring in a lot of strategic options here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for several of these drivers. Look at the battle right here between the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th place spot. You can pretty much throw a blanket over these guys. Bobby Kyle put in over 88 laps last night, he told me. He was in a practice session with some of the guys here in the Madness Racing League. The 63-year-old from Honorsville, Georgia, continuing to put out some decent lap times right now. He's not far off the pace. He's got about 4 attempts he needs to make up somewhere. It looks like Bobby Kyle's losing a little bit of speed down here going back up this hill. You see him slow down an extra tad bit, but maybe this might benefit Bobby Kyle as it looks like his truck's a little bit more stable than some of the guys in front of him. Meanwhile, Ty Robertson still not able to get around this back bumper of Jerry Powers III. Holden Wheeler trying every bit to get back in the situation and get it up and moving here. But James Fountain back through the hard braking zone in turn number 1 and 2. You're watching the Madness Racing League Total Nonstop Action Truck Series live here from the Lime Rock Park for the one and only Truck Series road course race we'll have all year long. Some of your favorite drivers hard down here in the turn 1. Chase Johnson and them guys way gone. Nicholas Maynard in this number 02. Pulling down here in the FCP 0 turn 1 hard braking zone. Holden Wheeler, Jerry Powers, and these boys trying to run down the guys in front of them. That's Chase Johnson. He's slowly eating into that back bumper. You see the battle down the hill here. Everybody works their way back down to the turns 4 and 5 to head back up the hill. These guys are going to get big time loose when the car becomes really airborne right there. If you're going fast enough, these guys are going to battle the handling conditions here tonight. Who's going to do what, when, where? Look at this battle right here. Nicholas Maynard trying to run down Everett Larson. Got a lap traffic car of Dagan Barnes in the way. Dagan Barnes, though, able to move out of the way and play the friend car there. Meanwhile, Nicholas Maynard trying to run down the 01 Stacking Pennies podcast machine of Everett Larson. This is the battle for the 12th place spot. John Michael Bryant back up the hill here off the exit of turn 5, headed towards turn 6. The Stukin Road Ford 23 machine on the march right now. John Michael Bryant up 4 spots from where he started. As he began tonight's spot, in the 17th position. He's currently moved up to the 13th place spot. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 laps to go to the competition caution flag here on the Madness Racing League TNA Truck Series, James Fountain talking to his teammates right now. Talking to his crew chief right now as he approaches the lap traffic car of Tim Powers in this number 45 machine from Newark, New Jersey. Tim Powers will just pull right over to the right for James Fountain and let the number 24 machine right on by. James Fountain completes another lap here. He'll lead another one as well. Ladies and gentlemen, the battle for that 3rd and 4th place spot not going anywhere. Chase Johnson going to call it different here as he blinks in and out here, battling a little bit of internet connection issues for the number 5 machine. Holden Wheeler just can't seem to get to that back bumper of the number 9 of Ty Robertson and make something shake. He's used all the good rear rubber here tonight. Meanwhile, Nicholas Maynard, Everett Larson continuing to battle out here for the top 10 spot here with 20 laps to go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're looking for that one more lap this time around from the race leader of James Fallon as he heads through turns 6 and 7 to go right down the hill to head toward turn 8 to go back across the front straightaway. James Fallon. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see the one more lap to go to the competition caution flag here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. How will he elect to play it? He will stay out here. We got Tony Cook sideways here on the bottom right side of your camera, excuse me. But he has jumped up out of the way, ladies and gentlemen. You have been watching Michael Durham Jr. trying to make something shake here and run down James Fallon, who's right out the front nose of him here, heading through turns 3, back down to the carousel zone, into turns 4 and 5. You're riding on board with Michael Durham Jr. Michael Durham Jr. made a pit call of his life 2 weeks ago at the Texas Motor Speedway. Took 4 tires after staying out early on old rubber, and it really benefited and paid off for the number 01 machine. He was able to go to victory lane. However, no, Holden Wheeler knocking on heaven's door. He's all over the back bumper of the Chevy Silverado of the number 9 of Ty Robertson. Meanwhile, Jerry Powers just trying to put together some steady lap times. He's got some lap traffic working right in front of him. Everett Larson has given up the position to the 02 of Nicholas Maynard, so that'll move the kid of Nicholas Maynard up into the 7th place spot, and every point's going to matter. Every position's going to matter here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. You want to know why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, the competition caution coming out right about this time around. It should be with everybody coming across the line. Yes, the caution flag has flown here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel with about 18 laps to go. So we'll work the caution flag here as everybody has turned up. Looks like James Fallon has worked his way down onto pit lane, and he will come down and try to flip the caution flag here. Michael Durham Jr., currently the race leader. We will see how things shake out in just a second. Be back in just a moment here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Keep it right here. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, live here from the Lime Rock Park Speedway, whatever you want to call it. Heading back down the hill here, we got Michael Durham Jr. The 2 weeks ago won the Texas Motor Speedway. He's got one of the Greg Biffle tribute schemes on his car here tonight. So currently waiting for a couple of guys to work their way back off of the pit lane, and we weren't very sure why we weren't able to get those camera shots too. I think I was able to get that situated and fixed out here, so we'll figure that all out here. Whoever decided not to go pit there before the competition caution flag on lap number 12 will have to find their way down on the pit lane at some point here tonight. Why we say that? Because you can only manage somewhere between 17 and 18 laps here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We're getting ready to figure out who's all coming, who's going where, why. Ladies and gentlemen, here they come down on the pit lane. Neil Rutt will stay out. The guys down on pit lane will be led by Jerry Powers, and it looks like Michael Durham Jr. will be the second guy getting ready to bring them on down. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Durham Jr., Jerry Powers, Ty Robertson, Holden Wheeler, Nicholas Maynard, and Everett Larson will be the guys coming down on the pit road. We'll follow this 02 of Nicholas Maynard here down to his pit box right in front of us. His guys off the wall here. Looks like it's going to be 4 fresh Goodyear tires and 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel for the kid of Nicholas Maynard, and he should be on and off the pit road. John Michael Bryan will bring his machine down on the pit road, but Everett Larson got a little bit of left front damage there. They're telling Everett Larson to take it a little bit slow now. They're going to try to fix a little bit of the damage here. 4 fresh tires and a can of Sunoco Racing fuel. However, Adam Peeler will stay out on the racetrack here. Nicholas Maynard will beat Travis Wall, off the pit road there. Camden Gilliland stuck down here on pit lane. It'll be 4 fresh Goodyear tires for the South Haven, Kansas driver, and they'll make a little bit of a packer adjustment. They'll take a half winch adjustment out here, try to tighten up the Love's number 11 machine as he was a little bit snug and tight in the center of the corner. Virgil Perriman comes in here tonight from Jabez, Kentucky, driving the number 42 Toyota Tundra. His guys told him that he was feeling and tracking really good lap times right now. Just keep on being consistent, doing what you're doing. So, ladies and gentlemen, as these guys continue to catch the pace car here, looks like we were able to get it all shaken out exactly how it needs to be here. Everybody comes around. Looks like Michael Durham Jr. will surrender that lead spot that he had just a moment ago. Adam Peeler is going to be registered as the race leader here on the Booty Scoot Racing channels. He will stay out underneath the caution flag there. He'll have the inside spot closest to the inside lane into turns 1 and 2 here at the Lime Rock Park. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like the competition caution flag has went very smoothly here. Now everybody is back out on the racetrack. Should cut the lights off on top of the base car this time and head back racing here at the Lime Rock Park. Looks like John Michael Bryan and the rest of these guys heading back down the hill to catch the back half of the field, headed back down to the FCP Euro hard braking zone into turn 1. Seen a lot of action here so far. Andy Wicker hard on the outside safer barrier. He's parked that machine down in the garage area, and he is up and out of tonight's event. So it looks like we're going to have about 14 laps remaining when we head back to the green flag here for the Lime Rock Classic. Everybody going to be double file behind Peter the race car. The lights are off, heading through turns 3 and 4. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you found your favorite driver's equipment out there in the fan zone. You've got yourself a brand new t-shirt and a brand new hat combo. The field's still looking pretty enormous right now. We started with 24 and still got 18 running V8s out on the racetrack right now on the lead lap. 16 of them, excuse me, on the lead lap. Still ready to go back racing here. Your favorite driver up and moving through the field. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Peeler has held on to the race lead here through the pit cycle from Landrum, South Carolina. He'll be on the inside with Chase Johnson on the outside, who will come in the lap before the competition caution, as well as James Fountain. 14 laps going to be remaining when we ready to take the green flag here tonight at the Lime Rock Classic right after the competition caution. Ladies and gentlemen, look over to your National Guard scoring ticker, and away the lights are back on top of the pace car. Excuse me, folks. It looks like we'll take at least one more lap around this beautiful racetrack. Ladies and gentlemen, that is A-OK. It's been exactly what you wanted to see all night long. We'll throw up some gladly needed sponsorship time here. Ladies and gentlemen, head on over to the Homerun Cafe located in Greer, South Carolina. And Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturday, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. 864-915-4721. Head on over to closeoutbats.com and save on brand new bats, deals, and demos. 140 Woodland Avenue in Westwood, New Jersey. Call them today, 201-664-4916. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, want to know what your favorite driver, crew chief, is down there doing, chopping up there on the pit strategy call underneath the competition caution? Head on over to racingelectronics.com and go grab your track rental scanner today. All rentals must be rented before the race event. Headed back down the hill, getting ready to go right back up towards the fan zone, back towards turn number 6, 7, and 8 to get ready to take the green flag back here in the Lime Rock Classic. After a brief one more lap, we had to delay the green there. We allowed a couple of these drivers to lead back up to the back half of the field as everybody were doing their own little thing. Thank you for watching the Homerun Cafe Truck Series for the Madness Racing League Total Non-Stop Action Truck Series here tonight. The only road course we'll have here, the first time ever in Lime Rock on any series that we've ever had. Ladies and gentlemen, down to be a hell of a good finish here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be Adam Peeler looking to make something shake here on the front half with Chase Johnson on the outside. Green flag, get ready to fly back in the air here at the Lime Rock Speedway. It'll be whenever Adam Peeler wants it. Green flag in the air here in Lime Rock. Down to second gear, some down to first gear. Does anybody lock it up? Do they all get through the corner again? Yes, everybody will get through turns 1 and 2 quite well. Heading back up through the infield portion, part turns 2 and 3. Chase Johnson looking to make a move early around the race leader of Adam Peeler. Big clusterfuck there through turns 2 and 3. You're going to have to get on your brake hard. But here comes James Fountain, won that position back down on the bottom side. He'll clear Chase Johnson for the second place spot. Headed back down the hill here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, James Fountain and the rest of the boys head back up the hill, going back towards turn 4 and 5, and whoa! Adam Peeler heading down to the braking zone of turn 6, heading off the banking, heading towards downhill turn 7. He'll reach slowly to turn 8 this time around. Does James Fountain make the move around him? No, he doesn't. James Fountain gonna have to move and groove around Adam Peeler if he wants this race win here tonight. 13 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot, 12 laps, excuse me, to go on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, live here from the Lime Rocks Park Speedway. Whoa, we got tons of guys locking up the brakes here, battling internet connection issues down into turns 1 and 2. Here comes Sean Williams in the Do It Right Ally number 25. Started on pit road, looking for the Hard Charger Award here tonight. The number 25 Allies, purple, pink, and blue 25 machine has got some speed in it. Sean Williams been to victory lane here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel before. He won the Daytona Xfinity race for season 2. They opened up the season, and just like the back of that truck says, if these guys would do it right, you'll find what you're looking for. Whoa, side by side here on the Lime Rock Park. Everett Larson, Corey Tessner, Camden Gillen, Virgil Perriman. Whoa, Blake Hochschild hard in the braking zone. He hits hard on the inside, safer barrier. Up and off the hill of turn 5, back down on the banking of turn 6, heading toward turn 7, down off of turn 8. Here comes Corey Riptide Tessner. Sean Williams leads the rest of this group around that area. 11 laps remain here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. James Fountain holds on to the race lead through turns 2, back down into turns 3, heading through the carousel, working his way through turns 4, back down the second gear, trying to manage his way through turns 5. Head back down the hill here through to manage his way up to turn 6. James Fountain blinks in and out though, battling some internet connection issues. Him and Chase Johnson both. Holy cow, Adam Peeler trying every bit in his power to hold on to everybody that keeps blinking out in front of him. As they got this mess coming down the hill here. Sean Williams, Corey Tessner, Camden Gillen, and all trying to make something shake here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. 11 laps remain. And what do you know? Here comes Ty Robertson trying to work his way up through the field. Everybody but Virgil Perriman throwing the kitchen sink at it, trying to find some speed here on the back half of the field. Chase Johnson has the race lead there. It looks like James Fountain has blinked in, has not returned back to the racetrack here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Chase Johnson works his way down into the banking of turns 3, headed back to turns 4. Going back down to turns 5, he'll have the race lead over Michael Durham Jr., and he's got about a 1.7 second lead to play with. Bobby Kyle, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. 88 laps turned last night in the practice session for Bobby Kyle. We spoke to him in the garage from Honorsville, Georgia. Bobby Kyle told us that road course racing was his second-hand nature when it comes to ripping gears and going up and down the elevation changes. This is what Bobby Kyle strived for here. He's trying to hold on to the third place spot here in the 777 machine as he works back across the front straightaway, heading across the front straightaway. The fans will rip and roar here, but Adam Peeler's got something to say if he wants to join the party. Here comes Jerry Powers. Jerry Powers will lock up the left front tire there and roll to that back bumper. Everybody pulling up right behind him. 9 laps to go here in the Lime Rock Classic, live here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Am I good to, yes, we're good to go from the admin. We're going to throw you on the eyes down on the racetrack for tonight's First Madness Racing League. Fast and loud. Booty Scoot Racing channel, the Lime Rock Park, and appreciate you guys sticking around for that fast and loud to give me a chance to go ahead and wet my whistle. Whoa, Everett Larson backwards here in the turns 1 and 2, looking for a chance to re-enter the racetrack. Goes the 14-year-old of Everett Larson. Not sure what exactly happened there to Everett Larson. He had ran into a big wreck. See if we can't get a look on that crash right there from Everett Larson. Coming around turns 1 and 2. He gets big loose, spins it out onto the safer barrier, almost to the outside safer barrier, but it is way far back there. We're able to get out on the brake. That was some great checkup from right there. But going back to the live cam here, Chase Johnson is working his way back down here through turns 6, headed back down the hill to turn 7 and 8, getting ready to come back towards the finish line. He'll have 6 laps remaining here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, trying to hold on to this race lead. Michael Durham Jr. is right behind him. This is the battle, folks, for possibly the win here tonight in Connecticut. Chase Johnson giving up a fuck ton of speed into turns 1 and 2. He's battling some internet connection issues. Right now, though, Michael Durham Jr.'s team in the 0-1, Greg Biffle throwback that you see right here in second place, telling him to take it easy. Michael Durham, the winner 2 weeks ago at Texas, he gets big loose there coming down the hill off the exit of turn 4. Chase Johnson, though, getting on the brake pretty early to head up the hill here. He's got a quite handling truck that's good and doing exactly what it really needs to. Looking back here on the rest of the pack of the field, though, you got a battle back here between the 9th, 10th, and 11th place spot, led by the boogeyman of John Michael Bryant. John Michael Bryant's crew telling him to hold on to this 8th place spot. Do not battle hard if you do not have to. John Michael Bryant and his team telling him that if he can bring home a decent points day here today, bring the car home in one piece, they may be able to salvage this same truck and run it 2 weeks from now at Daytona. John Michael Bryant on top of the drone cam here, battling with Camden Gillen, and these two guys absolutely cannot separate each other. The first battle cam we have here across the front straightaway. John Michael Bryant, Camden Gillen in the battle for the 9th place spot. Camden Gillen in hard on the brake here, down into the braking zone. Does he make a move around the number 23? No, he just can't get there. He'll blink in and out. John Michael Bryant will shove the hole off the exit of turn 2, down into the carries hell zone. John Michael Bryant down to turns 3, heading off of turn 4 to Stukin. Number 23 machine turning well right now for John Michael Bryant, but he'll give up a little bit of speed there to the number 11 of Camden Gillen. In this battle right here, folks, for the 8th and 9th place spot will not be separated. And Sean Williams has entered the chat, folks, looking to make something shake up the hill. John Michael Bryant fighting for his life here with 4 laps to go for the 9th place spot. And we look back up here closer to the front of the field. Ty Robertson looking to make a move around Adam Peeler. Remember, folks, Adam Peeler pitted before the competition caution flag, just like Chase Johnson and Michael Durham Jr. stayed out on the racetrack in this black and green mellow yellow throwback Toyota machine. He's trying to hold on the race car right now, but everybody else just keeps beating and banging him here. Not sure exactly what's going on back here with Nicholas Maynard. He's already made another trip down on the pit road. We'll continue to try to feed you that story here momentarily. Adam Peeler and Jerry Powers continue to battle it out here in the with 4 laps to go for the 3rd and 4th place spot. But it's going to be Michael Durham Jr. trying to run down Chase Johnson with 3 laps to go here in Connecticut. Does this number 01, number 16, Greg Biffle throwback have enough? Showtime, Chase Johnson has a lap traffic car in front of him. You're looking out the front nose of Chase Johnson riding on board the race leader. That is going to be the lap traffic car. It looks like going to be the number 45 of Tim Powers. It'll pull right up to that back bumper of Tim Powers. Tim Powers will show him the head out the windshield, telling him to pass on by here into turn 7, heading out into turn 8 down the hill. That's why Tim Powers will just get his foot on the gas there, trying to make a little bit of separation here from the race leader of Chase Johnson. Chase Johnson looking for his first ever road course win here in the Madness recently. He's never got one. Dagan Barnes slow across the front straightaway. He'll split them 3 wide. It's John Michael Bryant and the rest of these guys continue to work their way through the field. Everett Larson is all over the back bumper of the boogeyman. And look at these 5 cars, battle it out here for position with 2 laps to go. Everett Larson trying to get to that left rear quarter panel of the boogeyman. John Michael Bryant jumps in and off of the curb there. Everybody battling internet connection issues down there Not sure exactly if they're CPU, GPUs, whatever, can hold on to all this non-stop mayhem going on here tonight in Connecticut. Whoa, Tim Powers goes around hard, head-on shot to the inside, safer barrier. Already a lap down. It's not what he needed here tonight. Holden Wheeler works his way back up the hill, trying to make something shake here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Adam Peeler in this 4th place spot, trying to keep Ty Robertson behind him as well as Holden Wheeler. But it's going to be Chase Johnson coming across the line. He'll have the white flag presented by AFLglobal.com in the air. Chase Johnson is 1.53 miles away from a win here tonight at Lime Rock. Michael Durham Jr. will have one more shot at the back bumper at Chase Johnson. He's going to be absolutely have to be perfect with it. Heading to turns 3, back down into turns 4, going through the carousel. Michael Durham Jr. trying to hold on to it here and run him down. But here comes Jerry Powers, Adam Peeler, and Ty Robertson. This will be the battle for the 4th, 5th, and 6th place spot. Chase Johnson for the final time down the hill, down to 3rd gear. Working his way back up the hill. He's got to be perfect. Don't let it go. Chase Johnson doing everything nice and smooth. Down through turn 6. Headed through turn 7. He'll collect the curve there. That'll bring Michael Durham Jr. just a tad bit closer. Michael Durham Jr. is going to have to get wicked. Put the bumper to Chase Johnson. But he just won't have enough off the exit of turn 8. Chase Johnson will come across the line. And he will win his first road course race here in the Madness Racing League. Here comes the battle for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th place spot. Give the Ty Robertson over to Adam Peeler, Holden Wheeler, Ty Robertson side by side for the finish there. Neil Rutt the 3rd, looking to make something shake here. He'll come across the line as Bobby Kyle in the 7th place spot. Neil Rutt will come across the line with Corey Riptide Tessner. Camden Gillidan working off turn 6 and 7. And here comes the boogeyman. Looks like he has gotten the best of him. Here is Corey Tessner. The rest of these guys work their way up across the start-finish line. Here comes Camden Gillidan to round out the 10th place spot, and behind him will be the number 15 of Dakota Pignataro. Everett Larson gives him a little bit shove there at the end. This is going to be a close line. Wow! Give it to Dakota Pignataro. John Michael Bryan will get over Everett. Wow! Blake Koschow gets turned there at the end, hard on the inside, safer barrier, contact at the end of the race. Holy shit, folks, but Chase Johnson's got it parked down here for us. Ready to go back straight and forward here and burn it down on the Booty Scoot Racing channels. He's just won his first ever Madness Racing League road course race and his first one of the Truck Series here in Season 3. Chase Johnson wins it here tonight at the Lime Rock Park. Looks like James Bowen battling a little bit of internet connection issues there. Was taken off of the racetrack from, looks like, quality issues. So we'll see exactly what the deal is there. We'll see if we can't get a word from the driver, the number 24, James Bowen. But Chase Johnson able to hold on to it here tonight at Lime Rock. And the STI Johnson number 5 machine. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a moment here with the driver interviews in the post-race show.
Can't you say you're going out of your mind? And you're wasting all this precious time. And I know that you'll put up a fight, but this intervention is your...
Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We have just wrapped up the Homerun Cafe Truck Series race number 3 of 10 live here at the Lime Rock Park in Connecticut. Chase Johnson holds on it to it there from Michael Durham Jr. as he looked to go back-to-back. Michael Durham did. Chase Johnson will spoil that party here tonight in his number 5 STI Johnson Chevy Silverado. And if I'm not mistaken, we may have a pit reporter down there on the racetrack with the race winner of Chase Johnson. See if he has anything to say. You guys got a copy?
Victory Lane in Lime Rock Speedway, Road Course Park, whatever you want to call it, ladies and gentlemen. Chase Johnson on the Victory Lane here in Season 3 for the TNA Truck Series, presented to you by the Homerun Cafe. Chase just kind of walked us through your race here late after the competition caution flag. Chaos in front of you, your windshield opens up, and you're able to hold on to the race lead there at the end.
Yeah, man, just a great race overall for us. We put a lot of work into our road course program, so to finally get a win really just puts it into perspective how much work we've put into it. But, yeah, just great race overall. We got a little bit of damage in the first few laps. I don't know what happened. The truck just took off and we hit the wall, so decided from then to go ahead in the early pit and jump the stage. And after that, it was just smooth sailing. James wrecked in front of us, so after that we just had to keep the truck straight. And so yeah, I just want to thank STI Trucking, Chevrolet, Valvoline, Floyd Racing for giving us another fast truck. And I appreciate you putting it on. Can't wait to get back and watch it back at the end of the night. And we'll see you tomorrow night in Pocono.
Chase Johnson becomes the third different winner in 3 races here in Season 3 of the TNA Truck Series presented to you by the Homerun Cafe. We'll scoop down here, to the second place runner-up of Michael Durham Jr. Mike, looking to go back-to-back here in the Truck Series with your win 2 weeks ago at Texas Motor Speedway. Just kind of walk us through what happened tonight in the 0-1 Chevy Silverado of yours. Like you kind of closed up the gap there on that closing lap. Just not enough.
Yeah, first off, congrats to Chase for winning, man. It was a good race, hard race. Like restarted, I think, 4th or 5th. Had to get around, lost some momentum, then I almost spun out trying to catch Chase. But congrats to him and everybody, joining. It was a fun race.
That's the 0-1 on Michael Durham Jr. He'll get the runner-up spot here tonight at Lime Rock Park. We'll go down here to the third-place finisher of Jerry Powers. Jerry, kind of walk us through your race here tonight at the Lime Rock Speedway as you have the Greg Biffle tribute on your scheme, the third-place finisher here tonight.
Yeah, obviously heavy hearts here in the garage, so racing is secondary to life, and my thoughts and prayers are with Greg Biffle's family and all those affected, by that loss from that plane crash. Greg was a great guy, humanitarian, did a lot for the sport on and off the track, but I hate road courses, decent finish, we'll take it, we'll take the points. Lap 23, I got into Bobby, and I can't get away from him. It's my own doing, my own fault, just being too aggressive. So I hate that for him and his guys. He had a great finish going, probably inside the top 5 if it hadn't been for me, but we'll take it, we'll move on, and see what we can do in 2 weeks.
That's the number 99 of Jerry Powers, who'll bring home the third-place spot here tonight. We'll scoot down here to the fourth-place finisher, driver the number 9 of Ty Robertson. Ty, kind of walk us through your race here tonight around the road course, 30 laps of absolute carnage. Just kind of walk us through what you've seen out the front windshield of your number 9 machine as we head to Daytona 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, truck was really good in practice and qualifying. We made a mistake there on that first lap in the first corner and slid off the track. We lost about 4 or 5 spots, and it kind of put us back. We had to try and move back forward. It's insanely hard to pass here, so we weren't really able to do much of it. Probably should have pitted under that before the caution, too. That would have helped a lot. But, yeah, the team brought a great car tonight. Hopefully we can get back in victory lane in Daytona and make it 2 wins on the season.
That's the number 9 of Ty Robertson. We'll scoot down here to the 10th place finisher, driver of the number 11 of Camden Gilling. Camden, kind of walk us through your race here tonight on the road course. A top 10 here for the one and only we'll have on the season, but that road course program continues to look strong.
Yeah, it was a good truck. Unfortunately, we spun out coming up the hill on lap 1. So battled that, had a little bit of damage for the rest of the race. Pitted under the comp caution and came out 14th. And after a while, just put our heads down here at Rising Sun, and we got a little more aggressive on the track and fought really hard up to the 11th spot. Had a really great battle with John Michael Bryant. Unfortunately, that ended with an incident, and drove away with the top 10.
That's the driver of the number 11 and 10th place finisher here tonight of Camden Gillidan. We'll scoot down here to the 18th finisher of 02 of Nicholas Maynard. Nick, kind of walk us through your race here tonight, exactly what went wrong. It was a great race for the first 12 laps or so. Came down on the pit road. I guess we didn't had the Sunoco Racing fuel can in. I pulled off. I guess that's the driver there. Come down a second time to top off on the fuel, and we still didn't get enough in it. So I'm not sure exactly what went wrong here tonight. Trying to play on-track admin as well. Got 40 million things going on. Just not sure where the Maynard Motors program went wrong here. Not a road course racer. But we're looking to head to the high banks of Daytona 2 weeks from now. That's the driver, the 02 of Nicholas Maynard. He will bring home the 18th place finish here tonight at Lime Rock. That'll do it here for the one and only road course on the Madness Racing League Season 3 Truck Series to head to Daytona 2 weeks from now.
And ladies and gentlemen, head out of Daytona 2 weeks from now. We'll be back in just a moment with the post-race show live here from Lime Rock. Welcome back here on the main broadcast cam on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, live here for the Homerun Cafe TNA Truck Series race at the Lime Rock Park, where things just shook out for some absolute chaos here for 30 laps. It was absolute mayhem. We'll go up and bring up the qualifying portion part earlier that took place earlier again tonight. James Fountain doing his thing here in the road course. Back up top, he started on the pole. He'll win his first pole, and he'll grab the bonus points to add to the total score there. At the end, wasn't so much of a great finish for the number 24 team, but they definitely had the speed here tonight by sitting on the pole. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you stuck around to the very end where things really got wicked. Chase Johnson brings home the victory here tonight at the Lime Rock Park Speedway, whatever you want to call it, here in Connecticut. His first win of Season 3, and he is now the third different winner in 3 different races in the TNA Truck Series. Michael Durham Jr. brings home the second place spot here tonight in his number 01 machine from Burnside, Kentucky, with Jerry Powers bringing home the third place spot from Park Ridge, New Jersey. Ty Robertson from Coleman, Alabama spins out, has to bring it on back around after the caution flag, though they made a great adjustment. So the number 9 machine, Ty Robertson, works around to the top 4 spot. Holden Wheeler really held his own, no pun intended, here tonight, wheeling that number 09 machine. Just couldn't find a way around Jerry Powers and or Ty Robertson to gain himself about 8 more points to his total score, but a top 5 here tonight for Holden Wheeler. Adam Peeler with one of the greatest calls we've ever seen here in the road course. But there he goes on lap about 11 or 10 or so before the caution. Throws on 4 fresh tires, stays out underneath the competition caution, flips his track position to the lead, and he's able to hold on to it for a 6th place finish. What a call here from the Adam Peeler Mellow Yellow Nurse Aviator boys here tonight. Bobby Kyle needed this finish here tonight. Spoke with Bobby Kyle in the garage area earlier, and the Honorville, Georgia driver told me that just knocking on the top of a top 5 or top 10, knocking on the door, one of those would be big, tremendous keys here for BKM Racing and the 777 machine. We head to Daytona 2 weeks from now, where Bobby Kyle has won a race before. We'll see if Bobby Kyle can get it done 2 weeks from now. Neil Rutt III from Union Beach, New Jersey. The real deal, really didn't bring too much speed here tonight. Talked to him earlier tonight. Said road courses really weren't his thing, but we seen him battling back and forth there with Bobby Kyle and Corey Tessner. Just couldn't quite get around Corey Tessner. They had a quick and great finish there at the end. Neil Rutt was able to get around Corey for the 8th place spot, though. Neil Rutt able to bring home that number 66 to the 8th place position. Corey Tessner definitely needed this run here tonight, and finally will get a race underneath his belt, completed with all the laps underneath him. HendrickCars.com on board for Corey Riptide. Tessner had a black and gold truck, and it definitely moved around like it was making some money moves there tonight. He'll grab the top 10, 9th place position. Camden Gilliam from South Haven, Kansas, the 18-year-old rookie driver here in the Madness Racing League. Driving the number 11 truck stop machine, bringing home, looks like going to be the 10th place spot in his Rising Sun Racing 11 machine. Below him was going to be the number 15 of Dakota Pignataro, still waiting for him to come back around into the garage area there. He's going through tech currently right now. Dakota Pignataro, the Toyota Tundra TRD machine, was bad fast here tonight. beating and banging there at the end. Was able to, looks like, was able to get around a couple of these guys. Looks like some of these guys went backwards, but Dakota Pignataro was able to grab the 11th place position. Everett Larson beaten, banged, and battled all night long on that Stacking Pennies podcast. Number 01 Chevy Silverado. He likes cars. We like racing. And put those two together, this is what you get. Everett Larson put on a show here tonight, was in the front of the pack here, moving and grooving, putting some bumpers to people. He was also backwards there, but able to snuck it around for the 12th place spot. The boogeyman of John Michael Bryant pissed and wanted to know why. We had lap cars coming off of the pit lane, driving in front of traffic. He was slammed on the brake. Cost the boogeyman of John Michael Bryant. He was down there kicking stuff in the garage, not happy with the way that he was raced here tonight at Lime Rock. The J Money Motorsports number 23 Ford F-150 is going to have to regroup from Greer, South Carolina and get it up and going. Your mom's favorite driver is not happy, and neither should you be your mom. Blake Hochschild brings home the 14th place spot here tonight from Santan Valley, Arizona. The 25-year-old father of three was not happy with the way that he was raced there at the end of the race, slammed hard into the inside safer barrier at the checkered flag. And he said there's absolutely no need for that. The Precision number 16 Toyota will bring home the 14th place spot. Virgil Perriman brings home the 15th place spot here tonight in his MTL Motorsports Toyota Tundra TRD Pro from Jabez, Kentucky. Virgil Perriman, 2 top 5s almost to kick off the beginning of the year at a top 5 at Nashville. Continue the pounding up the standings board, the top 15 spot here tonight. Nick Crawford from Kentucky brings home the 16th place spot here tonight from Rock and Roll Racing. The number 48 had some speed in it. Well, just not enough here. Talked to him in the garage earlier, said he wasn't much of a road course racer, but he said being on the lead lap would do big wonders for here tonight for him and his number 48 machine. And it looks like he'll do just that. He'll bring home the 16th place spot with Sean Williams. Seen him up there battling hard for the 7th and 8th place spot, but just not enough to bring it on home to the end. He'll get snuck around there, hit the outside safer barrier. A little bit of damage to the number 25. He'll bring home the 17th place position. Nicholas Maynard from Welford, South Carolina, driving this number 02 Team Penske Development Mobile 1 Ford F-150 from Welford, South Carolina. Nicholas Maynard said he came down on the pit lane. They didn't fill the truck up all the way. He pulled it off a little early, come re-down to top it off. And if they didn't get it full again, I'd be damned. The kid of Nicholas Maynard, 18th place finish spot here tonight. Disaster on pit road for the kid. Travo Wall brings home the 19th place spot here tonight from Pelzer, South Carolina. Always Travo Wall involved in somebody else's mess. It's like there's a magnet attached to this champion number 7 machine. We've seen him run top 5, top 7 on a consistent basis. But Travo Wall is not having enough here tonight in the Rock and Roll Racing number 7 champion machine after getting into an incident early in tonight's event. 19th place finish tonight for Travo Wall. Tim Powers, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, see if I can't get this to switch back over for us. Give me just a moment here. I can't throw up some sponsor to get it to refresh for us. We have this happen all the time, folks. Tim Powers from Newark, New Jersey. If this would ever change back over for me, we would ever have the finish here to tonight's broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. Tim Powers, excuse me, where we left off, finishing in the 20th place spot here tonight, 4 laps down here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And he had one hell of a performance here. Nobody needs to call him Norm Benning, but he had exactly what he was looking for, a fast truck here to go along with most of these guys here tonight. And everybody chatting it up here in the chat. Tim Powers just happy to be here. Dagan Barnes, not sure where it went wrong here tonight for the number 14 and the 21-year-old from Lucoma, North Carolina, pulling off a pit road there in front of moving traffic, got ran over, and it was a trash number 14 machine after that. Dagan Barnes, though, talked to him earlier tonight. He was looking and ready to go to Daytona 2 weeks from now. He's hoping he can find his way to victory lane at the High Banks. James Fountain will leave here tonight disappointed. The pole sitter going home with an empty-handed, wrecked race truck. He will fly off the racetrack going down into turns 1 and 2, lock up the left front tire, and that's to be called tonight for James Fountain. Chase Johnson never looked back after that moment. The Apex grading number 24, though, brings home the 22nd place position. Tony Cook in the number 33 machine brings home his Home Run Cafe machine, the series-sponsored truck here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel in the 23rd position, And the final place spot will go to Andy Wicker for Rita's Motorsports. 27 laps down for Walnut Cove, North Carolina. spins out going up the hill on lap number 3, and that was it for Andy Whitaker. He went around hard to the outside safer barrier, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like that'll do it for us here on tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, here from Lime Rock, Connecticut, for the Homerun Cafe Truck Series. God bless everybody. We hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. Chase Johnson goes to victory lane here tonight for his first Madness Racing League road course victory, and who knows how many it is now. He's constantly going to victory lane. Maybe Chase Johnson back on the hot seat here, getting things up and moving in the CJR program. He'll go to victory lane here tonight in Connecticut. We'll see you tomorrow night at Pocono for the Xfinity Series for the Madness Racing League. Tomorrow night about 8:45 Eastern. We'll see you there.
What lies beneath your skin? It's